This is the Coach Bryan Moore Show with Opelika head football coach Bryan Moore. And now with Coach Moore, the voice of the Bulldogs, Van Riggs.
Welcome in on the Bryan Moore Show. Van Riggs alongside with the head football coach Bryan Moore, and the Bryan Moore Show presented by Glenn Smith Chevy GMC in Opelika's exit 62 off of I-85. Get ready to smile. Well, Coach, let's go back to last week. I know you knew you were going to have your hands full against the number one team in the state in Central. I thought at times did some really good things. Central's so quick, though. Boom, boom, they hit you for a touchdown, and you're playing behind a couple scores. And it is tough against a team like that.
Well, you have your shot, and you better take it. You know, the first one was that, you know, they score first. We get a 3 and out, which was really big to start the game, you know, and get the ball back at midfield, too, with good field position. They score first in a couple of drives, and then we score, you know, at 7-7, we get a touchdown call back, about a 30-yard touchdown by CJ, which really hurt the momentum. And because not only did we not score, it also put us behind the chains. Now it's 1st and 20, right? And so we had a hard time overcoming that. We also get it 14-3. Money Thomas picks up a strip sack fumble from CJ and runs it back plus territory, but then we fumble it back 2 plays later. So again, a couple of shots there, and then even more is 21-6 at halftime. We kicked a big field goal to finish the half by Reese, which was good to see. Made 2 big field goals in the game. But you know, we're driving after half. You know, we get good field position, big return by C.J. Johnson. He's impacting the game a million different ways. We get it down there inside the red zone and we go backwards. You know, and so you just have to capitalize. I think there were like 3 or 4 drives that went inside the 30, and we got 2 field goals out of it. So that just can't happen. When you're against the number one team in the state, man, you have those opportunities. You got to capitalize, and that's just what we're not doing. I mean, there were moments that were better. I thought our mentality, our effort, our will to play was better against Central. I thought we played hard in the game. I thought we tackled better in the game. You know, we had 24 missed tackles the week before against Enterprise, which was embarrassing. We had 12 this past week, which was better. It's not perfect. At this level, you're going to have some missed tackles against the people we play. But I thought we improved, but ultimately that's not good enough here. I mean, it's not good enough to say we got better. You know, we're competing and should be with these guys for region championships. And so it's just been frustrating the last 2 weeks, and I've got to figure out how to get us going. It's been a great response this week, but ultimately got to play better.
Coach McCracken loves the line, big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. And CJ, boy, he talked about the big-time play he made there, but ran the ball really good against a tough Central defense too.
I thought we ran the ball effectively as a group, you know, and I thought, I mean, obviously CJ, you know, is playing on multiple special teams units. He's covering kicks. He's returning kicks, obviously, and he's one of the best in Alabama at returning kicks. He's had a great year. Hadn't scored yet, but he's been at midfield several times and into plus territory. Just had an incredible year, and our unit's doing a good job there on our return team. But also, Coach Massey came to me early in the week last week and said, what do you think about CJ playing a little it's a defensive end hybrid, like outside linebacker? And I said, man, I mean, you all hands on deck. Like, you know, and you know, CJ being the type of person he is, he's like, yeah, coach, whatever I need to do, you know.
Now Coach Massey's not giving him back, right?
You know, I keep telling everybody, all right, now, watch his pitch count, you know, and so, because I love him on special teams too, so I want him on all those. But he's impacted the game, you know, and you know, having Jordan Waits and Jalen Nelson and CJ Pink and those guys help us to be able to play CJ in some other spots as well. So it's been good to see him impact the game, and obviously he's a Power 4 athlete, and he's been great for us and a great leader as well.
And you mentioned a couple weeks ago at the luncheon how he had really impacted special teams plays, especially in the Dothan game, covering up maybe one of there was their fake punt.
It was. I mean, he's done winning things every week. Like, you know, I don't know how to describe what that is, but you either do winning things or you don't, right? And so we've got some players that frankly have the ability, but they don't do as many winning things as C.J. Johnson does. So, you know, Jordan Waits is the same way. I mean, he does winning things. He's on all the special teams too. And
right.
So, yeah.
Jalen Nelson had a couple good carries in that Central game down the stretch for you too.
Jalen's a freak physically, right?
Yes.
Like, I mean, he is one of the fastest guys on our team, weighs 210 pounds. I mean, he's rocked up, and you know, if you could put one together, that's the way he'd look at
He's
running
going to break one of these runs
he is,
at some point.
And when he gets out, it's going to be like, whoa, you know, when he gets in space. So hopefully it'll be this week. But Jalen has made a lot of progress as well, so that's been good to see also.
All right, Coach, moving into this week, such a huge game in the last game of the season because there's so much on the line as far as playoff seeding goes. For the fans out there, win this game, you're secured a 3 seed in the playoffs.
Right.
And that is huge for this team, especially seeding-wise and just a program to get it back into the playoffs.
I think so too. I think, winning breeds winning. And, it's been a challenging year as a whole. We haven't played as well. I don't think this team's hit its ceiling yet. There have been some moments where we played really good football, and some fight in this team. I don't think there's ever been question about their resilience and the way that they've won a lot of these close games and that sort of thing. But there's just still so much more. I think we're just scratching the surface. Like, if we can get all healthy and on the same page and start clicking, like Lakedrick will be back this week. Like, that's massive to help us in not only this game but the playoff run. If we can get the 3 seed and find a way to beat Carver at home, which is a tall task with what they have coming over here and the level of opponent that they are, this can be a special year, and we can get into the bye week, right? Get healthy, and then let's go make a run.
Right.
And we'll have to travel in the first round, regardless of what happens at this point. But that. Ultimately, you're going to have to go to one of those environments anyway, just like last year having to go to Hoover. I mean, you're going to have to get on the road and go to Birmingham at some point. So, but we got to handle business, and we got to find a way to play better in all 3 phases and play more consistent and just see what happens from there.
Coach, I've got so many athletes. We saw last year just how many athletes. I know it's a different team than they were last year. And I hate to bring back up last year. But, you get the big lead on them last year, and they're so dynamic. Just like they were last year, they are this year, where they can come back from a 28-6 deficit and win the ball game.
Well, you didn't see that against Auburn. You didn't see that momentum-changing play or explosive. Right. Auburn just kept the lid on everything. They did an incredible job of keeping things in front of them, make them snap it again, and create negative plays, had some sacks, and they kept the quarterback in the pocket. But you're right. I mean, this is talent-wise, they're just as talented as Central. Like, player for player, I mean, their quarterback is a receiver, really, that's going to go to Texas A&M. Like, if you're going to Texas A&M, you're an elite athlete, right? And him touching the ball every snap is an issue, okay? And so their running back, 215 pounds, big bruiser, really good player, great speed everywhere. Defensively, I mean, they've got the defensive end that transferred from Benjamin Russell, that's a junior, that's like a Georgia, Alabama level player. They've got a linebacker 5 that's about as good as 5 from Pike Road. He's, in my opinion, as good as the Outlaw kid. The back end, they've got a big safety that's 6'4", that's going to spin down in the box. I mean, when we got out there last year and I got on the field with them, I was like, oh, this is unreal. I mean, they had the kid that went to Ohio State, right? And they had all these players all around, and it's just like, man, they're so talented and long. And they can all run. So we're going to have to do a great job of not only, trying to get a lead in the game, but figuring out how to sustain that. You're right, Van. Last year, I just felt like at halftime we ran out of steam. After the schedule that we play, I just felt like we didn't have enough to finish. And it cost us at the end. And so when you get a lead, you got to keep your foot on the gas. I felt like last year we didn't do a very good job of that, and that starts with me. And so we've got to continue to be aggressive in the game in our play calls, fake punts, or whatever we need to do, onside kicks, or whatever we need to try to steal a possession from these people. But they've got a great team. Coach White does a really good job there. A ton of respect for him and his program, and they know how to win. And they'll come here hungry. They've lost their last 2 as well, and so they're going to come hungry for a win also. Yeah,
when you've lost your last 2, it's nice to flip the script, have senior night, be back home with everything on the line.
Yes.
And you need the fans, I know, to show up Friday too.
Well, there's so much to play for.
Yeah.
I mean, in our Sunday meeting, I put all the seniors on the slideshow. Every senior had a picture, and I just kind of thumbed through the slideshow with our kids and said, listen, this is who we're playing for, right? Like, the very first thing when I got to Opelika, I met with the seniors first, nobody else. And I said, this is your year. This is your season, your team, your time, because you get one shot at your senior year. You get one shot to leave your legacy. And everybody's judged by that, let's be honest. The year that I graduate from high school is how I'm judged. My football season of my senior year, I'm judged by that. And our seniors last year put us back on the map. And it's now the seniors this year's job to take that next step and to continue this success that we've had. And frankly, I'll be honest, it's not what we wanted, right? If we can find a way to win and get to 7-3, but it's been a rocky year with an incredibly resilient team that continues to fight through these challenges. And for them, what a great mark they'll leave on this program, and how they've recreated the tradition of Opelika football. And I hope that our fans will come and support that. I hope they'll recognize our players and cheer for them when we go through the senior night with their parents. And it's just a special moment. It's an emotional moment, truthfully, because we just spend so much time together. You hate to see them go. And this is a class that, a senior class, I don't want to see them walk out that door. I don't want Blake Johnson to go. You know, I don't want, you know, Jordan Waits and all these guys, LaKedrick and K2 and all those guys. I don't want them to go, you know, and I want to keep playing for them. And let's play into November to see what happens.
4 of the 6 wins on your schedule have been in those one-possession games.
Yeah.
So if the game on Friday night comes down to a one-possession game, your team's got the belief that they know how to finish that game.
We'll be very comfortable, you know, because, I mean, heck, against Dothan, we had 90-something yards to go, you know, and that was the last possession, right? We all knew that we weren't going to get it back. So, I mean, yeah, it's been – I would like to build a 2-score lead at some point. That would be awesome.
That'd be nice.
That would be really cool to fill that at the end of the game and get into 4-minute offense and take a knee at some point. You know, that would be really fun. But it's just been a different year. But it makes you stronger, man. And you don't know why those things are happening and why your challenges – I mean, the last 2 weeks obviously have been very challenging. You know, I've never dealt with it as a head coach ever. You know, our kids don't know what that's like, you know, to go through that. And, you know, up until the last 2 weeks, every game, even the losses have been inside of possession. Like every game's been down to the wire, you know, with us. And so we just gotta find a way to find that magic again. And you just never know when you break through, though. Yeah, I was reminded this morning, Cade McGee came up to me and said, you know, y'all talk a lot about the 2012 season. And he said, tell me more about that. So I started talking about being 6-4 and, you know, getting to 10-4 and playing Hoover again in the state championship. You know, just you never know when you're going to catch that. And so you just got to keep believing, man, keep banging the rock, right, and hoping it splits and figuring out, you know, where can we get with this group if we just keep believing. If we get some pieces back, you know, Carson Riddle back, Josh Davis back, LaKedrick Burks back, like if we can get healthy with our guards, with Debo and those guys that hadn't been themselves, like if we get healthy, Julian Pritchett, he's back this week, thank goodness, right? I mean, we get these pieces back, let's gel together. This 10th grade quarterback's got 5 games under his belt now, right? 3 starts and 2 reserve appearances. And so what does that guy look like? You know, it's like Matthew Christian was in 2012. He was a 10th grader too. And all of a sudden he caught fire in those playoffs, right?
And it's a quarterback too that coming into the season didn't really think he was going to get a lot of playing time at all. And that mentally, you know, you're not really preparing, I think, as well.
Well, and Matthew in that 2012, for our folks that remember that year, we didn't play well early. You know, Ben Russell, we lost on the road. It was bad. And just we struggled. And we're like, what is the identity of this football team? And I just hope and pray that 2025 can look the same. You know, can we find it? Like, can Blake Johnson start to take over games like Jaquel? You know, can we start to impose our will on people with our front? You know, can we do some of those and then hit some big throws? I mean, it required Matthew to throw the ball over people's heads and hit those posts. And Witt's got that big arm too. You'll see it. You said it earlier. I mean, when he rips it, that thing comes out pretty. You know, he throws a great ball. It's just experience. You know, and we're learning him too. You know, JD, you know, is learning, okay, what are the things that I can do with Witt, right? It takes a while to build that trust between play caller and quarterback, and we're going to get that. We're going to find it, and I really think it's going to happen this week. I've been pleasantly surprised at how our kids have responded and how they're proving that they still want to be here. You know, that's the Coach McCracken, he said, look, at the end of the season, this time of year, Coach would say, it was the craziest thing when I was assistant, he would say, you fulfilled your obligation as an Opelika Bulldog. I was like, I remember him doing it first time. And he was like, if you would like to leave, then go. You have done it. You've gone through camp, you've gone through everything. And if you're kind of over it and you're ready to go play basketball or you're ready to whatever, wrestle, you can go do that. And I told him that Friday night. We're sitting on the field at Central and I said, listen, I hope all of you will stay, all right? But if you choose to come back Sunday, you be ready to work, right? Like you be ready to go. If you don't, that's okay. That's okay. It's been a tough 2 weeks, right? But we're going to go to war with the guys who won't be here. With the I said to coaches, I said, we're going to go to war with the coaches who won't be here too, right? And our will. And so this weekend and our practices have been all about staying connected, right? And fighting together and revitalizing it and putting some positive energy back in ourselves, like me personally and our players, because we've never dealt with this. And just saying, man, not again, right? Like we're drawing a line in the sand. And that's what it is. And I learned that from Coach. And I just think that the response of our kids and the way that they came back to work proves the way that we'll play Friday night.
Yeah. You think I need to give them the call on the broadcast team? The same thing? Coach, you've done it. You want to come back next week?
Yes. Yeah, good luck with that.
We should. All right, it's going to be an exciting week. So Thursday, lunch at First Baptist Church in Opelika, a great preview of the Carver game on Friday night. That'll be at noon, and the 316 Center, $10. Information there on the screen. Would love to have you there. 1 hour there, great lunch, and a lot of great preview of the Carver game Friday night in Bulldog Stadium. Then also, Thursday night, going to be a community pep rally. Love when Opelika Main Street and the community comes together to do this. Coach, always, it's going to be senior night too on Friday, so a chance there. Courthouse Square, at the fountain. Come out for a great pep rally there.
It'll be a lot of fun. You know, again, another way to honor our players and our community. It's so cool to get the band out there and cheer, and Coach Johnson, the job she does there, and then Mr. Wagner and McGlynn and the job they do. It's just so cool to be surrounded by your supporters. It's a great deal to get out in the community too. You know, our players, and Ben Landers specifically does such a great job of getting us connected with the community, and it's another way for people to enjoy. Like my own children love that kind of stuff. Like I know the little girls are running around with the cheerleaders. It's an opportunity for them to see the pep rally and be part of that. So we appreciate them and everybody involved putting that on.
All right, final regular season home game inside Bulldog Stadium Friday night against Carver. Coach, I know we were talking, earlier, hey, 3rd down and 5. This is when we need the fans to be on their feet, be loud. They impact the ball game. We've seen it.
Right.
The marching band impacts the ball game, and we need everybody on. We need everybody's 100% effort, right?
We do. I mean, look, we're all trying to pull this team through, right? Like I always tell the kids, we're in the fight with you. Like I'm in there with you. Like I felt like I played a game against Central, just trying to continue the positive energy, but our fans can impact that too. Play the game with us. Please come and be loud. Our kids need it, and they deserve it. They work so hard. Again, we're devastated about the last 2 weeks, right? That's not us. And we're going to find a way to make that better, but we need you guys to come and help us and impact the game. And you're right, it has. They've made a difference, and I know they will again Friday night.
All right, hope to see everybody Friday night inside Bulldog Stadium. If you can't make it, we'll have it for you on 97.7 Kicker FM and the NFHS Network. And we'll see you right back here next time on The Bryan Moore Show.